Yo, 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 what up? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right. So we got some people in the building early. We got my man Ashanti Blidak in the building. What up with it, Ashanti Blidak? My man says, beautiful day in Jersey. Michael Jackson, baby, be mine on the deck, getting off work, about to listen to the broadcast. Keeping it 100, Rob in the chat. What up? What's good with it, bro? Good to see you as always. Got my man Bronze the God in the building. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. So hopefully everybody is doing good. Blacklight Revelations 2 is back in business. All right. So I'm not, expecting too many people to be here because this is the first stream on the channel. But hopefully, as we get this bad boy warmed up again, like an old school car, people will start coming back. We got my man Terrence Jackson in the building. What up with it, bro? Good to see you as always. So we got a couple things to talk about. This probably is not going to be a very long stream because there's another stream scheduled on the other channel, but I will be streaming on this channel for the late night stream tonight, so that's what's up, man. I'm glad to be back on Blacklight Revelations 2. We're gonna start building this channel back up again, and hopefully get it to where it was before they decided to try to knock down the tower. So I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but guess what? The top 10 Democrat list came out. All right. So this right here, if this is not a reason to no tangibles, no vote, I don't know what is, because I'm telling you, this is an all-star cast of losers. All right. This is an all-star cast of losers. The top 10 Democrat presidential candidates for 2024. Now, I don't know if this is going to be primetime news or if this is going to be prime time on Comedy Central. But wait until you guys see this lineup. When you guys see this lineup, you're going to crack up. You're going to laugh your ass off. All right. So if you guys haven't, make sure you guys smash that like button. Also help your boy out. Make sure that you share the video out to all of your subscribers on social media. Also, shouts out to my man Terrence Jackson, because my man Terrence Jackson sent me this next article that we're going to read. And then we're going to get into the thumbnail topics, which is the shutdown of free speech and thought. All right. So this is an article here from the Washington Post, and it says the top 10 Democrat presidential candidates for 2024. All right. So what I want you guys to do is let's just do a little bit of guessing. Who all do you guys think is going to be on this list? Who do you guys think will be the top 10? You know how everybody says, well, give me your top 5. You know what I'm saying? We got Nas, we got AZ, we got Tupac, we got Scarface, blah, 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 we got all that. So for the Democrats, who do y'all think is going to be listed as the top 10? I swear you are going to laugh your ass off. This is going to be funny as hell. This is going to be a comedy stream. It's always a comedy stream, but this one going to be really funny. Shouts out to Point Dexter. Yeah, in the building. What up with it, Point Dexter? Yeah. We got Carla Lockhart in the building. What up with it, Carla? Good to see you as always. My man Black God Israel is in the building. What up with it, bro? Good to see you as always. Top 10 Democratic presidential candidates for 2024. And they were kind enough to rank them for us. All right. In late February, we were all preoccupied with events elsewhere in the world. So you would be forgiven for having missed even a very interesting poll about U.S. politics. The poll from YouGov asked about the 2024 presidential primary. Only 21% of Democratic-leaning voters said that their choice was the incumbent Democratic president, Joe Biden. Now, is anybody surprised by that? Everybody's dropping some good guesses. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's dropping some good guesses. Keep them up. You know what I'm saying? Keep them coming. But that put him barely ahead of the 18% who said they weren't sure whom they supported. Vice President Harris, Bernie Sanders, each had 14% shares. This is not normal. All right. So now, neither is how crappy the Democrats are. I don't think that that's very normal. So my question for you guys is, why do you think that this list is looking so non-traditional? What do you think is going on here that nobody is saying, we want the same people that we've had in office currently, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden? How come nobody's saying that? Besides the obvious. We've seen some evidence that Democrats aren't sold on nominating President Biden for a second term, including a poll in November showing a majority of Democrats. Look at this. A poll in November showing that a majority of Democrats didn't want him to run again. So he's not even getting support within his own family. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Val Williams. What up with it, Val? Poindexter says, what do you expect from a shit show? A lot of brown spots on the toilet paper. You know what I'm saying? That's what I expect. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, but a lot of Republicans say the same about a repeat run for Donald Trump in 2024. Yet he's the clear front runner when you pit him against actual would-be opponents. Now that's interesting. Now I want to know, do you guys feel, what's up with it, Honda 666? Good to see you, bro. Now I got a question for you guys, and you guys could let me know about how you feel about this. Do you all feel that Trump will run again? If you guys think that Trump will run again, type in a 1. If you don't think that Trump will run again, type in a 2. I don't think that he's gonna, me personally, but you never know. But I don't think that he is. Democrats need to decide what this means for them. Certainly, there's an argument to be made about the best path forward, and that would be to pick a different nominee. But if Biden is intent on running again, do you allow a competitive primary that could put the choice in voters' hands and imagine risk damaging the incumbent president, Jimmy Carter versus Ted Kennedy in 1980? Do you subtly suggest to Biden that it might be better to pass the torch and hope that it works? Or do you just hope things with his presidency get better? Now, this is interesting, right? Because the Washington Post, what up with it, Solo? What's good? The Washington Post kind of softly telling everybody what we all predicted. Biden ain't it for next year. Biden is more than likely not going to be the it for next year. Looks like they're trying to somehow come up with some type of finesse where they'll have some other front runner. If you guys think that that's true, let me know. If you think that I'm wrong, let me know as well. You know what I'm saying? These very important questions will probably have to wait until after the Democrats see how the 2022 elections pan out. But in the meantime, we've seen the kind of jockeying that you might expect in such a scenario. Biden hasn't even been totally explicit that he'll run again, which would seem to give the green light to others prepping for the case that he won't. With all of this in mind, we're changing our approach to our quarterly presidential rankings. All right. So remember, these rankings are people who may run for president. All right. In previous installments, we've excluded Biden from the list, suggesting we'd probably have a true primary only if he didn't run. But we increasingly need to consider that the possibility that if he does run, he won't have the field to himself, and that he might not be the most likely nominee, all things considered. All right. So below are the latest rankings. All right. And then they give some other people worthy of mentioning: Gina Raimondo, Phil Murphy, J.P. Pritzker, Gretchen Whitmer, Andy Beshear, Stacey Abrams, Mitch Landrieu, and Ro Khanna. All right. So What do you guys think about this? Number 10, they have AOC. They got AOC listed as number 10. Val Williams says, if Biden isn't the front runner, in the words of Tory and Rain, I feel nothing. That's a fact. That's a fact. Deneen Grant says the man has to be led around by the Easter Bunny. No way will he win again. That's a fact. That's an absolute fact. The more obvious path for the 32-year-old Congresswoman would be to bide her time for the right opportunity to run for Senate. She passed on a primary against Senate Majority Leader Charles E. Schumer this year. Now, you know that was orchestrated. You know she wasn't going to run against Schumer. But she would have a good shot against Senator Kristen Gillibrand in 2024. Or she could go for an even higher office, for which she polled at 6% in that YouGov poll. She doesn't seem to be taking the kind of steps that others are on the list, but she would have a built-in base, and the progressive lane would be significantly more open this time, since Sanders has said he's very likely out. All right. Number 9, Gavin Newsom. What do you guys think about Gavin Newsom as a presidential candidate? I told you guys. You see Deneen down here? She's laughing her ass off. I told you this is going to be comedy. This right here is probably going to be solidifying why people won't be voting. You know what I'm saying? My man Bronze the God says Republicans would eat AOC for lunch. I agree. I think that they're waiting to eat her for lunch too, for real. Some California political watchers have noticed that the governor seems to weigh in more often in recent national political debates. It's painfully obvious Newsom wants to run for president one day. San Francisco Gates' Eric Ting wrote this week. Exactly how that would go down is less obvious. Newsom notched a big victory in a much-wanted recall vote last year, but how he'd wear on voters outside of the Golden State is a big question. Newsom practically exudes West Coast liberal, as he's probably a bit more moderate than most people realize. Well, yeah, we know. Everybody's, quote, moderate when it comes to black issues. So that wouldn't be a surprise for us. You know what I'm saying? We get that. Cory Booker, they got him at number 8. My question for you guys is, how do you feel about Cory Booker? He makes some interesting faces, but I don't know if he would make a good president or a good presidential candidate. You know what I'm saying? He's got some huge eyes, but I don't think he'll see anything wrong with, just being a typical Democrat, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Cory Booker, the senator from New Jersey, was one of the most prominent faces. I thought it said some of the most prominent feces, but that said faces. I think it would have been more appropriate if it had said feces right there, of the Democrats' effort to confirm Ketanji Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court, delivering some heartfelt lines about how momentous of an occasion it was. His 2020 campaign came out of nowhere, close to capitalizing on the promise of his early political career. But Booker is just 52 and could still have another act on the national stage, and it'll probably be as the court jester. Sherrod Brown. I don't know if you guys know. Do you guys know who Sherrod Brown is? Carla says, I feel nothing. That's hilarious. Chanel says Cory is trash. Throw some trash cans in the comment section. Throw some trash cans in there. My man Bronze the God says the Dems are doomed so far. You guys agree with Bronze? If you guys agree with Bronze, type in a 1. If you disagree, type in a 2. I gotta agree. This is looking really bad. This is looking so bad. All right. This is looking so bad. It looks like if I had 2 TVs on And both teams that I was watching, one team had just missed their field goal and they were down 6 points, and the other team has 1 second left on the shot clock and they got to take the ball up the court and they're losing by 3 points. That's what this shit looks like. You know what I'm saying? How many of you guys are familiar with Sherrod Brown? I'm familiar with Sherrod Brown. He's an idiot. The biggest, see, they could have summed this up right here. They got this long ass paragraph. I just summed it up for you guys. He's an idiot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, really, honestly, there's nothing more to say, but, you know, apparently they got to do something with the open space here. The biggest shock of the early 2020 Democratic primary cycle might have been when the senator from Ohio unexpectedly passed on running. That was in part because he decided he wasn't interested in running as other Democrats were. And it's possible that won't have changed in 2024. But with Sanders out, there could be more of a space for his populist style of politics. And you can bet that plenty of establishment Democrats would put Brown very high on their list. There's one big wrinkle. Now, is that located on Joe Biden? He's up for re-election in 2024, and he might not be able to fall back on seeking re-election in red trending Ohio. All right. Roy Cooper. I have no idea who Roy Cooper is. So it looks like we might be entering the realm of the no-names. Shouts out to the woman who doesn't exist to you. What up with it, woman who doesn't exist to you? Good to see you as always. And yes, please make sure you guys take my man Ashanti Black's advice and make sure you guys smash that like button. Like my man Moxie Approved says, apply pressure. Apply pressure to that like button. Shouts out to my man Rain King. What up with it, bro? Chanel says, I hope black folks don't put the Democrats back in office come November and 2024. I got to agree. If you guys agree with Chanel, type in a 1. If you disagree, type in a 2. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. Roy Cooper, he might be one of the leading contenders if you hear the least about. That's partially due to his being a governor, but partially just Cooper's style. If it's a just win, baby type of election and Democrats want a Biden-style candidate, oh, God, no. Though not Biden himself. The North Carolinian checks a lot of boxes. He's also like Brown, a repeat winner in a tough state that Democrats would love to put on the map. Now, do you guys know who this person is? Amy Klobuchar. Amy Klobuchar. I have no idea who the hell Amy Klobuchar is. Yeah, I agree. What up with it? Shouts out to my man RG Titan in the building. What up with it, bro? Dems must go down in spectacular fashion. That's a fact. And I tell you, with this lineup, that is not going to be hard. That is not going to be very difficult at all. They are going to go down in a blaze of not so much glory. You know what I'm saying? The senator from Minnesota would seem to benefit from a Biden-free race, as every American would. Just like some of these others would benefit from a Sanders-free race, just like every American would. But how much? Her high water mark in 2020 was 20% in New Hampshire, and she underperformed in Iowa long before Biden really kicked things into gear. Elizabeth Warren. Now, Elizabeth Warren, everybody loves Elizabeth Warren, right? She'll get you guys to the poll, won't she? Who gonna stomp the yard for Elizabeth Warren? You know what I'm saying? I gotta agree with Val here. The Democrats need to learn a lesson. We need to abstain. Facts. This taking me back to high school. My man RG Titan says the Democrats about to get molly-whopped. They finna get mollied. They finna get Molly Percocet. You know what I'm saying? Elizabeth Warren, Sanders' camp, I wonder if there was a teepee there, has suggested Biden will face a progressive challenger in 2024. But exactly who would that wing of the party line up behind? Politico reported recently that top Sanders aides have gotten involved in setting things up for the field in 2024, but by pushing for Khanna to run rather than by building up Warren. Sanders and Warren have often been allied in the Senate, but their 2020 presidential campaigns got pretty ugly with one another. That's because neither of them is very attractive. So, I mean, that's literally an ugly rivalry. You know, the senator from Massachusetts also has a re-election bid in 2024, which she has said she'll pursue. So, I mean, since she said that, I don't even know why they put her on the list. They didn't even put Kamala Harris's name, her first name on here. They just put Harris. I mean, is she doing that bad where we can't even put the woman's first name on here? She's for she's pro reparations for Native Indigenous people and for LGBTQ. You know, we need to start calling her Nickel Sack. Let's call her Nickel Sack. You know what I'm saying? No, you know what? You remember, oh, you mad because I'm styling on you. Who remember that from back in the day? Oh, you mad because I'm styling on you. We finna call her Nyx. NYCKZ. Nyx. Oh man. That shit don't make no damn sense, man. That shit don't make no damn sense. Yeah, she's a Nick. She's a nickel sack of Reggie. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what Elizabeth Warren's ass is. do you do drama at all? I heard you had a leading role in the Dawes Act. Shout out to my man DJ Elmo. What up with it, bro? What's good with you? So Harris, we're dropping Harris down the slot this time. You not only dropped Harris down the slot this time, but you dropped her first name off as well. You know what I'm saying? You dropped her first name off as well. Facts. And make sure that you guys pay attention to the woman who doesn't exist to you. Smash that like button. Make sure that like button exists to you. All right. Being vice president is clearly a good launch pad, but it's not at all clear Harris has put it to good use. Her numbers are similar to Biden's, and she's done little to change the perception that harmed her 2020 campaign, including on her ability to drive a message. There's also no way she would run against Biden if he does run, while others might have seen wiggle room on that. On the plus side, Biden has committed her to being his running mate again. Oh, you know, you go, Kamala's gonna run with me again. And she probably just said, Pete Buttigieg. What you guys think about him? He's listed at, ironically, number 2. Man, they about to get their ass kicked. Y'all remember that song by No Limit? Somebody finna get their ass kicked. They ass kicked. Somebody get their wig split. They wig split. Mia X singing that shit. Yeah, man. Somebody about to get their ass kicked. Look like the Democrats. Oh, they finna get fucked up. They got Pete Buttigieg as number 2 with Biden as number 1. That's all y'all got? Well, 50 Cent say, is that what you got for me? Is that what you got for me? Come on now. The transportation secretary moves ahead of Harris, but not with any great conviction on our part. He ran a good campaign in 2020. We'll repeat that he was very close to winning the first 2 contests and would enter 2024 with more heft as a cabinet secretary. Mostly, we'd expect a Biden-less race to be one of the most wide open contests in recent memory. To the extent people don't want Biden or Harris, he's next in line just in terms of sheer plausibility. All right, sure. They got Biden listed as number 1, y'all. They got Biden listed as number 1. They got Biden listed as number 1. I told y'all this was going to be comedy. They really think they're doing something with this. Biden. Having said all of the above, things are often darkest for a president in a midterm election year. And Biden has both a pandemic and inflation to contend with. If those factors wane in the coming months after the 2022 midterms, the picture might be significantly different. If Republicans win some control of Congress, as appears likely, it could even help Biden politically because he'll have something to run against, even apart from Donald Trump. Now you see this is grimy. Like, this is pathetic. Do you see this? This is what they're reduced to. They need Republicans to win to try to scare everybody into voting for Biden. That's sad. That's sad. That's pathetic. Boo. Boo. And wait till you guys hear what I'm about to talk about next as far as Biden. They really they continue to just make themselves more and more not likable. They keep making themselves more and more not likable. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think it was possible, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, clearly it is. Deneen says they messed up holding on to power positions in their 80s. They have no succession plan. Facts. Bronze God said Republicans got that anti-black Monstar lineup. Right. They got Ron DeSantis and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Rand Paul and Ted Cruz standing there in front of LeBron James and Marvin the Martian and shit. As a matter of fact, that's who the Democrats need to get to run. They need to get LeBron James and Marvin the Martian, because I don't think anybody else got it. I don't think anybody else has it. You know what I'm saying? This is pathetic. All right. So this is the best that the Democrats could do as of right now. The top 10 Democratic presidential candidates for 2024. Man. Woo-wee. Shouts out to my man Terrence Jackson. All right. My man Terrence Jackson sent me this article. I thought that you guys would think that this was funny. I thought that this was great. He sent me some more articles. I got to check them out, and hopefully I'll be able to fit them in. But you guys keep sending me that good content. I don't know if you guys heard about this. There was a Juneteenth event canceled after all white panelists were revealed. Well, maybe they just had it set up that the white people were the masters and they were freeing everybody. You know what I'm saying? So they gave everybody the day off. The fuck out of here. What kind of bullshit is this? Nothing to be surprised about. Black First IS says YouTube has a serious shadow ban on your channel. If you guys agree with Black First type in a 1. If you disagree, type in a 2. And I'll tell you what else. Smash that like button. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure y'all hit that bell. Also, make sure you guys check out Patreon. All right. For $5 a month, you can help support the channel. This channel used to be monetized. This channel used to have memberships. YouTube zapped me. That's why there's no more content on it. But it's all good, though, because we're going to build it back up. And if you subscribe to the Patreon, and also if you check out my other social media on the About page, all of my content is backed up on all my other social media. So you won't miss a beat. You know what I'm saying? Forget YouTube. We ain't tripping off YouTube. Beat YouTube. You know what I'm saying? We ain't worried about their asses. They was probably passing out hot dogs at this damn Juneteenth food truck. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what this shit is talking about. This was a soul food festival in Arkansas. Two words that you don't usually think of in the same sentence. Soul food in Arkansas. You know what I'm saying? I wonder what they had down there. Clearly, might not have been too much. Might not have been much soul food at all. That's probably why these tables ain't really popping all like that. They got a tripod there with no camera on it. I bet you they had some white people in there cooking bean casserole. You know what I'm saying? A soul food festival in Arkansas that was scheduled to take place for Juneteenth, the federal holiday that commemorates the emancipation of enslaved people in the United States. Yes, they celebrate this holiday because the enslaved people were emancipated in the United States economy. And after we built the economy through our slavery labor, we now build the economy as a permanent underclass that has to spend our way through life because we cannot build generational wealth. So no wonder they celebrate this holiday. If I was the people who privilege was built for in this country, I'd celebrate it too. I'd be in church on my knees on Juneteenth. Oh, potato salad with raisins. Oh, raisins in the potato salad. Oh, God. That's atrocious. That's a crime. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you what, one of the first orders of business once we get rid of this little white supremacy problem is we have to make inserting raisins in things inappropriately illegal. They like to call us cancel culture. Let's cancel raisins in shit that they ain't supposed to be in. You know what I'm saying? Let's do that. Oatmeal cookies. You know what I'm saying? Nothing else. Don't put the raisins in the mashed potatoes or the potato salad and none of that. Don't do that. Don't do that, please. It was canceled. All right. And they canceled it after the panel of all white hosts was revealed in a promotional poster, according to Salon. I don't know why they would have used that as their promotion. Man, I'll tell you what, I hope they fired their PR people. Because I don't know why they would have done that. The Juneteenth Soul Food Festival and Market was supposed to take place on Friday, June 17th, at the War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock. The three featured hosts were supposed to be Rex Nilson, senior editor of the Arkansas Democrat Gazette, Heather Baker, president and publisher of AY Media Group, and David Basil, radio and television personality at KABZ FM 103.7 The Buzz. I don't know what kind of music they play. The Urban League of the state of Arkansas, who was listed at the bottom of the poster as a beneficiary of the event, posted on Facebook that they were not involved in the program. So they just put these motherfuckers' names on the shit. I mean, it's Jesus, man. This is what they're doing out here. Shouts out to my man Carlton. Wait, what up with it, bro? Yeah, man. Look, you see, Nightbot is kind of taking it easy, though. You see, everybody's dropping in emojis, and Nightbot ain't saying too much. He might have took his Ativan this morning. You know what I'm saying? Nightbot is not on bullshit. Shouts out to Nightbot. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he needed a vacation. Maybe that's what was going on. Maybe I was streaming a little bit too much, and Nightbot was feeling a little bit overworked. He ain't messed with Carla or Val. You know, the Nightbot and Carla and Val is always a damn Royal Rumble with them. They're not messing with each other today. That's good. Carla, Val, y'all them got cool with the Nightbot. Oh man, that's what I'm talking about, man. Everybody getting along and shit. Please read. The Urban League of the state of Arkansas is and was not involved in any aspect of this program. We are concerned of the appearance of participation without our approval. It's unfortunate that some failed to recognize the optics and the absolute need to engage prior to this being developed. Scott D. Hamilton, CEO, ulark.org, the Urban League of Arkansas said. So this is the tweet, all right? I guess this is the these are the people who were there. This was this is funny and crazy. Like, this is some shit from a Wayans brother movie. Juneteenth Soul Festival and Market, and they got like Fox and Friends as the hosts. Everybody give a shout out to the Nightbot for behaving. You know what I'm saying? You see Val, she said, hi, Nightbot. You know what I'm saying? Nightbot said exactly what he supposed to say. Be sure to smash the like button, share this to your social media, hit the bell icon to subscribe. Yeah, Nightbot doing good. You know what I'm saying? Nightbot doing what he supposed to be, not doing too much. Stop working overtime, Nightbot. You one of them type of motherfuckers at the job that irritates people because you want to come somewhere acting like you 2 positions above what your ass is getting paid for. And it's like, you need to sit your ass down somewhere before they start expecting us to do all this extra ass work. Y'all ever dealt with anybody like that? I know my man Bronson God has. I have too. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I take motherfuckers aside. Do you know what you got hired for? Okay, motherfucker, then do that. You don't need to sweep the floor. You don't need to wax the whole damn place down. You don't need to do all this extra ass shit. Get your shit done and sit your ass down somewhere. Because I'll tell you what, when you're not here or when your dumb ass get fired, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing the extra work. And don't expect me to do it when you're not here either. And don't expect me to do it when you're tired. Because I'm going to just sit there looking at you like you're crazy. You better keep working like you're Superman. Because I'm super civilian and I ain't doing a damn thing. Making us all look bad. Right. And then a flip out. Nobody around here is pulling their own weight. I pulled my ass out the bed and showed up. That's about as much as you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says the event organizer. This motherfucker's name is Muskie Harris. You know this is some old backwoods ass shit. Yeah, my name is Muskie Harris, and I done put this thing together here for these Negroes. I bet you he drove up there in the Dukes of Hazzard. Hey, dagnabbit, ain't nobody here. Right, that's a fact. Nightbot is B1, bot first. That's hilarious, man. Oh shit. That's funny as hell. Oh no, Muskie is a black dude. Now see, you know when you got them names like Muskie, that's either a racist ass white person or like the first generation out of slavery foundational black American. I bet you this motherfucker like 110 years old. Yeah, my name is Muskie Harris, and my family is from. These are the type of motherfuckers that say they from somewhere by the way of somewhere else. We here in Arkansas by the way of Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is the old brother right here. Gotta be. Former University of Arkansas football player knew that he had to call off the event after the poster had made its rounds on the internet. Oh yeah, he knew. See, you could tell, man. He look at this. He's talking like he's talking like yesterday was Juneteenth. I got a rope around my neck and I'm tying feathered over an event that's already dead. Harris told the newspaper. Go sit down and get you some rest, bro. Go sit down and get you some rest. You know what I'm saying? You tried. Put some Vicks Vapor Rub on it. You know what I'm saying? He went on to add that the leaked image of the poster was not the final version, but still decided to cancel the festival. It just got perceived in the wrong way, and my sponsor said to leave it alone. Oh, it's dead. It's all dried up. That's what Harris said. Harris won the Republican primary for lieutenant governor in 1990. Lord have mercy. This Negro was a Republican. I mean, you know what? I'm pleasantly surprised that he's a Republican and he had sense enough to cancel this shit after the damn flyer came out looking like this. This shit didn't even look like no soul food type shit. Like this is all professional and pastel colored, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know, like if it didn't have like this looked like some shit that would be at a concert hall with an orchestra playing or some shit. Like this don't even look right. Juneteenth Soul Food Festival and Market. Like the colors ain't bright enough. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't even look right. You know what I'm saying? So Harris, who won the Republican primary for lieutenant governor in 1990 per the Arkansas Democrat Gazette, told the Arkansas Times that he may try to host another food festival for Juneteenth next year. The leaked poster caused a whirlwind of reactions online as a number of people tweeted out their initial thoughts of a soul food festival having all white hosts. Here's my question. What do you guys think about it having all white hosts? That's interesting. That's crazy. That's some horrible market research for you right there. Woo child, that voice impression. I'm just going back to church now, you know. You know how foundational Black American elderly people say church. You know, yeah, we were gonna go to church this Sunday, and you know. Oh man, shouts out to my grandmother in heaven, man. You know what I'm saying? I swear, like I shouldn't have laughed at that shit as hard as I did, but every time she would say church, man, that shit used to get me. You know what I'm saying? Damn, that's some evil ass shit. All right, let's see. So check it out. Where we need to be. So my question for you guys is, have you guys heard about this disinformation committee that Joe Biden has organized? If you guys have heard about this disinformation committee, type in a 1. If you haven't, type in a 2. Disinformation committee. Now, you know what I find interesting about this disinformation committee? If I recall correctly, it was either in 2014, if I'm not mistaken, or 2012, that the Smith-Mundent Act was formed. How many of y'all are familiar with the Smith-Mundent Act? Shouts out to my man Jay Bird. That's right, BLR2 is back in business. You know what I'm saying? Now, the Smith-Mundent Act made it to where the United States has a lot of funding to publish propaganda and broadcast that propaganda to citizens and to civilians. Now, we all know that when it comes to propaganda, there's always a lot of disinformation and there's always a lot of misinformation, because propaganda, for the most part, is always agenda based. So you have to ask yourself this question: why would the United States not only free up all of this money for the Smith-Mundent Act? And if you guys aren't familiar with the Smith-Mundent Act, go check it out. And then a couple years down the line, turn around and create a committee to combat disinformation. Now, don't you guys think that timing is kind of interesting for disinformation? We just had a worldwide pandemic. Still have it, as a matter of fact. And everybody was acting like anybody that said anything about C-19 was spreading disinformation. Immediately after the election, people that didn't agree with the election, they were saying that they were spreading disinformation. But nothing was done about it. Now, as we approach the midterms, we're going to set this up. What do you guys think about that? Is that convenient timing? Is that an accident? My question is, what do you call something like that? Is that a fluke? What is that? If you guys haven't smashed that like button, please make sure that you guys help your boy out and smash that like button. Let's see where we are. Let's see where we are. Hold on real quick. Let's see how many likes we got. Because you guys know, without them likes, YouTube ain't gonna do a damn thing. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. The page won't reload. That's always great. So I think what's going on is that YouTube is actually having one of its janky moments. This is really weird, but sometimes the YouTube studio does not work. It just chooses not to work. Oh, okay, we're doing good. We need 4 likes to get to 20. All right. If you've already dropped a like on the video, make sure you drop a thumbs up emoji into the chat. All right. Article here from Fox News, and it says DHS Orwellian disinformation board is what they're calling it. Should shock the core of American belief system. Now, we all know that Americans, most of them, are under a lot of incorrect beliefs. So I don't know what kind of shock they would be under, but this is interesting. All right. So let's actually check out this video and see what this is talking about here. It might be a little bit of an ad, or you know how they do. Of course, we got a nice ad for a Mazda. Do people still buy Mazdas? They never really been too popular. It seemed like, you know what I'm saying? Let me see. Hold on real quick.
Is the most politicized and ridiculous concept, and it became an anxiety for liberal elites in this country and in Europe around 2015-16 when President Trump was elected and Brexit happened. And they use it all the time to suggest
look, maybe that's just the old man in me talking. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Jay Bird, man. I hope that Mazda's treating you well. You know what I'm saying?
that any set of facts or arguments that run against whatever it is that liberals are pushing at the moment is
oh, it's not a bad car. I just never I've seen them. You see them once in a blue moon, and like they're all the ones that I see, they're always all dressed up. You know what I'm saying? They had a blackout wheels. A lot of times they had like some sports flair on them. I've just never driven one. I've just never had one, and I've never known anybody who owns them. So if it's not a bad car, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. They used to make what was it? What was that Mazda? They used to have a nice SUV, a nice 4-wheel drive back in the day. I can't think of what it was called, but I wouldn't have minded getting one of those. Those Mitsubishi Monteros back in the day was real cool too. Honestly, like a lot of the new cars, I don't really like them. I don't really like them too much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't like the new SUVs. I don't like. Look at this. Uh-oh. We're not going to see Ashanti Black anymore. I just offended his wife. Tell her I'm sorry. He says, damn, Rob, my wife just got offended. She has a Mazda 6 and I told her to get it. Well, I mean, she shouldn't be offended. She listened to her husband. You know what I'm saying? That's always a good thing. You know what I'm saying? When husbands and wives listen to each other. For shouts out to you two on having a great relationship. You know what I'm saying? I've never driven a Mazda. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know they were this popular. We got 2 people in the chat that rock with Mazdas. That's what's up. I ain't mad at that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at that. I might have to check one out. You know what I'm saying? When your boy gets this channel monetized and I start getting that ad revenue again, I might have to go to the Mazda dealership and see what kind of Mazda I should get. Y'all need to drop me some names because I'm not familiar with any Mazda vehicle. So drop me some names. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. Look at this. Here come the tomatoes. Talk about not know your audience. Oh, man. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. Here comes Val. You know what I'm saying? Kick your boy while he's down. She saw some ribs and she kicked me in them. My sister's daughter has a Mazda CX-5. It's beautiful. Back in the day, I liked the Mazda RX-7 sports car. Yeah, see, I have no idea what any of that shit is. A CX-5 and an RX-7. That shit looked like a problem that I had in my algebra class. You know what I'm saying?
Is disinformation. We should reject this term. We should use true or false, and we should use inquiry to figure out whether something is true or false. Reject the very concept of misinformation because we see how it's abused by someone like Nina Jankowicz to call what we now know was perfectly true reporting about Hunter's laptop, call that disinformation.
Shouts out to my man Kareem. What up with it, bro? Please, Kareem, don't tell me that you have a Mazda.
You question the origins of COVID-19? Disinformation. Oh,
Kareem is a look. Kareem is a great listener. You know what I'm saying? Kareem is a great listener. Look, all the, all the Mazda owners left. They're like, peace. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to have to build this channel back up from scratch.
Oh, but 6 months later, turns out you were right. You don't think, Black Lives Matter riots are okay? That's disinformation. So this is a very dangerous, I mean, we use the word Orwellian too much, but this is legitimate.
You see how they always have to bring black people into something? You see how they always have to bring black people into something? You don't think Black Lives Matter riots are okay. It's Orwellian, or it's disinformation. How about if you don't talk about how the far right thugs named the Boogaloo Boys burnt down the Minneapolis Police Department? How about that's misinformation? How about that? Look, Carla said, I don't know what's wrong with Nightbot. He must have gotten insane. I don't know what's up with him, but let's try not to wake his ass up. Hey, my man Jay Bird says, nah, bro, BLR is more reliable than a Mazda. If you guys agree with Jay Bird, type in a 1. If you don't agree with Jay Bird, type in a 2. That's hilarious. Yeah, this is just, I mean, what is wrong with these white media outlets? I mean, like, what in the hell was the point of bringing up some black shit when talking about this? What the fuck is actually wrong with these people? That's exactly where I was going with it. That misinformation task force will be used to derail reparations, no vote movement. Facts. You're going to have Joy Reid and Don Lemon and everybody else all over this. They're going to be all over this. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be saying that we're Russian bots again, despite not being able to say what it is that's misinformation that we're talking about. And I totally agree with Deneen. They need to keep our names out of their mouths. Big facts. Damn. Everybody dropped some rest in peace and praying hands emojis for Kareem. He said his Mazda died. You know what I'm saying? I just bought a little bottle of Smirnoff. I'll pour some out, you know what I'm saying, once I get done with this. So now here it says, let me see. The top law enforcement officer in Missouri is condemning the creation of the new Orwellian Department of Homeland Security Misinformation Board. All right. What do you guys think about this? The Misinformation Board. Now, here's my question, and I want to ask you guys this, an honest question. What do you guys think is going to be the criteria for what they're considering is misinformation? I mean, what is misinformation? What are we saying is misinformation? I didn't know that there was just a rampant misinformation issue out there other than information that comes from the government. I mean, if the government is regulating itself with the misinformation that it comes out with, I mean, I guess I don't see a problem. Right? But what's the other misinformation? What are we talking about? And why now? Deneen says whatever goes against their narrative. I got to agree with that. I have to agree with that. You guys see YouTube playing with the numbers? If you guys are active, awake, and alive and watching this broadcast, drop some emojis. This is ridiculous how YouTube does. But we'll deal with it. The DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas announced that the department created a disinformation governance board. So we'll probably be hearing more about this. All right. To combat online disinformation during his testimony Wednesday before the House Appropriations Subcommittee on Homeland Security, Attorney General Eric Schmidt wrote to Mayorkas Friday in a letter exclusively obtained by Fox News Digital, in which he states the focus of the Orwellian board is to focus resources on the threat of mis/disinformation, and it should shock the very core of the American belief system, a threat to free speech that will rightly alarm freedom-loving people across America, including those in my home state of Missouri. Now that's interesting. That's what Attorney General Eric Schmidt wrote to Mayorkas. So clearly from this letter, it sounds like this is a fear tactic. Right. Right. If you guys agree with Carlton Way, type in a 1. The misinformation is that Jay-Z got money, so we don't need reparations. Right. LeBron James is an NBA player, so none of the rest of us need our reparations. Not only do we need them, they're owed to us. Somebody making it to the NBA and somebody becoming a rapper has nothing to do with the fact that the United States is unethical, disgusting, and committed genocide against us for centuries. Like I don't know how one person becoming a rapper and another person becoming a professional basketball player absolves the United States and the white people here in the United States that benefit from that of any wrongdoing. That makes literally absolutely no sense, and it's just more proof that these people are insane and they do not look at us as equal humans, which means that we have to understand that we're at war at all times. You know what I'm saying? He says that the shadowy government programs that promise protection from the boogeyman are clumsy attempts by deep staters to slowly steal our liberties and invade our privacy step by step while hoping we didn't notice. We are noticing. The Attorney General said Missouri, which is known as the Show Me State, has a suspicion of government bureaucracy, and it's rightly skeptical of DHS and the new board. He cited examples from 2020 when social media platforms censored speech related to C19 lab leak theory, which is what I just mentioned, despite it being more widely accepted today. A lot of stuff is more widely accepted today. A lot of people got their social media platforms banned, removed. People got demonetized. Yeah. Deneen Grant says that Oprah is another person that they like to mention. And Oprah herself, Oprah and Jay-Z and all of those people, they accept that. They feel empowered by that. They love getting their little pat on the head. In addition, he references how the Hunter Biden laptop story was labeled as disinformation, despite it being accepted as genuine over a year later. Schmidt also raised whether the creation of the board is related to the recent purchase of Twitter by Elon Musk, again, which is a double standard because these people, you hear them, they're allegedly talking about the deep state and the elites, which Elon Musk is a deep state elite that even has ties to Epstein. But for purposes of mail-splaining, we're going to act like we forgot all of that, which is it's absolutely insane how remote controlled and robotic these people are. Who has committed to transparency and protecting free speech on the platform, which has censored speech by former President Trump and other conservatives. I mean, what I find the most interesting is that they literally act like Trump and other conservatives are the only ones that lose their accounts. That's a good question. I don't know, Kareem. That's actually a great question. Deneen says California is working on a bill that would strip doctors of their license if they do anything against the approved C-19 vaccine and treatment protocols. Unreal. Is anybody surprised? The Missouri Attorney General says he plans to push back on this newly established board, which he calls frightening and dangerous, until the Biden administration backs off. So if you continue and try to trample on our free speech under the false banner of disinformation on behalf of the citizens of the state of Missouri, I will fight this government overreach every step of the way. The future of our republic is at stake. Well, I don't know how I feel about that. Some of us have never lived and enjoyed the benefits of a republic. So, in my opinion, the people who benefit from this shit should be at the forefront of fighting for it, not so much us. You know what I'm saying? We could sit this one out. Actually, we should sit everyone out until we start getting what we want and what we need and what we're entitled to. We need one more like, you guys, to get 20 likes. So if you guys can, if everybody in here smashes that like button, we will definitely be well on our way. We'll be well on our way. You know what I'm saying? Nina Jankowicz, who previously served as a disinformation fellow at the Wilson Center, will head the board as executive director. Members of Congress and critics on social media have blasted the decision to appoint Jankowicz and expressed concern that she would not be an impartial director based on comments she had made regarding the Hunter Biden laptop story. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki on Thursday defended the new DHS board, saying, I haven't dug into exactly. I mean, we, of course, support this effort, but let me see if I can get more specifics. That sounds exactly like something that Jen Psaki would say. That literally sounds exactly like something that Jen Psaki would say. I know exactly what I'm talking about, but let me just double check because I have no idea what I'm talking about. Like, what's funny though is like what's funny about Jen Psaki, right? Jen Psaki is no different from how any white supremacist talks. You know how like they all like put her on Fox and like they make this big ass deal like, yeah, like look at this shit that Jen Psaki said. Like she just said this shit that didn't make any sense. I find it fascinating that they try to like put her on display for doing that, like she's doing something that only she does. Literally, they all do that. Like, literally, you all talk like Jen Psaki. That's how it looks. So, like, this is something that people should take going forward. Like, any Republican that is offended or upset or tries to make fun of how Jen Psaki sounds, literally, that's how you all talk when talking about any kind of black issue. Jankowicz did a ridiculous song about misinformation. I'm gonna have to check that out. Is he the guy that was rapping? Is he that goofy white dude that was rapping, sounding like a fucking idiot? Which is what they usually sound like. I saw somebody had done like some kind of rap. There's like some kind of TikTok video or something going around. Oh, it's a woman and she's singing. Oh. I'll ch- I'll check it out. You hear how excited that sound? I'll check it out. We know there has been a range of disinformation out there about a range of topics. I mean, including C-19, for an example, and also elections and eligibility, Psaki said, adding that she would check for additional information on what the board plans to do. Psaki continued, it sounds like the objective of the board is to prevent disinformation and misinformation from traveling around the country in a range of communities. I'm not sure who opposes that effort. Yeah, that's probably not what this commission is going to do. If that's what the commission did, it wouldn't go anywhere outside of the government, because it's the government that pushes all of the disinformation. So let's actually check this video out. Hold on real quick. Oh, okay. Twitter users shocked by a ridiculous TikTok of new disinformation czar singing "God Help Us." Oh, this must be what you were talking about, Deneen. Let's see here. Hold on.
Hyundai Sonata versus.
So give me a second. Let's see. We got 6 seconds left. If you guys haven't smashed the like button, please make sure you guys smash that like button. Okay. So the video just didn't play. Let's see. Hold on. Let's try this one more time. Wait a minute. What's going on here? You guys see this? Let's see. All right, let's try this one more time, y'all. There we go.
How do you feel? I think how do you feel about the Ministry of Truth?
This is the kind of thing that you see in dictatorships, this Ministry of Truth, this Department of Propaganda that the Biden administration has just stood up. And the reason why you see this in dictatorships is because they're afraid of us. They're afraid of the people. They're afraid that we might actually think for ourselves. And so now they've created this body that will do two things. Number one, it'll use taxpayer dollars to work through the mainstream media and flood the airwaves with whatever their propaganda narrative is that they're pushing at any given time, and try to drown out anyone with alternate views. And number two, they will silence dissenting voices through intimidation.
Right,
I think the thing to recognize with this, just real quick, is that this isn't something new. This is something that they have already been doing, that's happening right now. The only difference is they're formalizing it, making it official, which, if there's a silver lining in this, it is they're revealing exactly who they are and why they're doing it, what they're trying to accomplish. And it allows us, the American people, to stand up and say, hey, you know what? We're not going to let you get away with this crap. We will take a stand, we will reject it, and we will throw out of office those who are continuing to push and propagate this undemocratic, anti-free speech mission.
I showed tapes of Joe Biden. I'm going to show you tapes of Joe Biden in 2008 and 12 and 16. And then I have a question on the other side.
In our bilateral relationships with nations with whom we deal and have serious trade deficits, we have to be willing to put more cards on the table.
Now they got a new plan. Trust me, it's not going to cost you any more. Folks, follow your instincts on this one. They put one foot in front of the other. They keep going. That's the unbreakable spirit of the people of America. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
I want to thank the former general. I keep calling him general, but the guy who runs that outfit over there.
Oh man, oh man.
I know you probably don't want this question. You're a Democratic Party member. Do you see a precipitous cognitive decline in Joe Biden?
Oh my God, this motherfucker said a precipitous cognitive decline in Joe Biden. Oh man. Oh wait. And they had him as that's the best. What y'all just saw, That's the best that the Democrats can come up with for 2024. That's the best they got. Bronze guy said Biden talks like he has a mouthful of mashed potatoes. He talks like he has a skull full of mashed potatoes.
I think it's distressing, Sean, to see that. I think that it's important that as we look at what you've just played out and what you're seeing is that we not just focus on Joe Biden, but that we actually, which is really kind of a distraction away from, to me, what is the more serious issue here, which is it's clear that Joe Biden's the front man and that there is the permanent Washington establishment behind the curtains that are pulling the strings. You know, I don't believe that Joe Biden came up with this department of propaganda. There are other people in this permanent Washington establishment who are calling the shots, who are making the decisions that have a very real impact, negative impact on our democracy and on our freedom. And it's important for us as the American people to see very clearly what's happening, not allow them to distract us, and stand up strongly against it in defense of our country and our Constitution and our freedom.
I would like to see the cognitive test. I get asked a lot of questions about you because you are not part of this radical Democratic Party, but you still consider yourself a Democrat. One, do you ever imagine becoming a Republican? You ran for president once. Would you run for president as an independent? A lot of people think that might be your final goal.
Neither of those things are things that I'm giving any thought to. I am very focused on doing all that I can, as many Americans are across the country, in recognizing the crisis of this moment, the challenges that we face, that we've just talked about here, and how critical it is that whether we're a Democrat, an independent, or a Republican, that we stand together and fight for our freedom, to support and uphold and defend our Constitution and Bill of Rights. This is at the core of who we are as a country, and our democracy is under attack from our leaders right here at home. This is critical for us to stand together and to stay focused on protecting and defending it.
Tulsi Gabbard, thank you as always.
What do you guys think about that? How do you guys feel about that? Tulsi Gabbard is always full of shit. She always acts like she's so sincere, doesn't she? She's a snake in the grass. So now, this is what Ron DeSantis said. You cannot have a ministry of truth in this country. Ron DeSantis says Biden won't get away with having a disinformation board that can silence critics, which is interesting because Ron DeSantis is butthurt and he's criticizing and he's silencing critics of white supremacy. This is how ridiculous these people look, act, and sound. On one hand, Ron DeSantis is having a full-fledged wet diaper temper tantrum about what Joe Biden is doing, while Ron DeSantis is literally doing the same thing. I just think of PBT absolutely decimating her in that one video. Who is that? Tulsi Gabbard? He said it right. I used to like Tulsi Gabbard until she started showing her true colors, which once she showed her true colors, I was like, I'm good on this bitch. And then PBT dropped that devastating video, which she deserved. You know what I'm saying? She's just like any other person of color. You know what I'm saying? Just another division of white supremacy. No more, no less. They disappoint every time. So now, this is an article from the Daily Mail, all right? And it says, you cannot have a ministry of truth in this country. Ron DeSantis says Biden won't get away with having a disinformation board that can silence critics, as cringeworthy. New video shows Sar singing about misinformation to Mary Poppins tune. I mean, it's just getting weird. Is this what you guys were talking about? The singing? Is this what it was? Is she singing to Mary Poppins? Like, you can't make this stuff up, man. You seriously cannot make this stuff up. We got 21 likes, guys. If you guys smash that like button, everybody that's in here, if y'all hit it, we will be over 30. That's not bad for starting back out. You know what I'm saying? Starting out strong. Starting out strong. You know what I'm saying? DeSantis on Friday joined the chorus of Republicans slamming the new board. Florida governor promised to fight back and said Biden wants to silence critics. GOP Senator Tom Cotton also on Friday said the board should be defunded. That's interesting. Don't defund the police, but defund this other board. I mean, we need to start calling out all of the hypocrisy that these people do. They need to never go unscathed about hypocrisy, because nothing these people say or do is legitimate. And in my opinion, they've shown and proven that they're not capable of being in charge of a restroom, let alone a damn country. Latest fury came as a new board head, wait a minute, what is this? Look at this. Latest fury came as a new of the board's head, Nina Jankowicz, surfaced. What is a new of the board? What is that? Do you guys see why I have so much trouble reading this shit sometimes? What is a new of the board? Like, okay. She sings about misinformation to the tune of Mary Poppins' song Supercalifragilistic. Oh, God. Jankowicz has called Hunter Biden's laptop a Trump campaign product and tied it to Russia. What do you got? Here's a question. What do you guys think that a disinformation board like this would have done about Hunter Biden's laptop? What do you guys think this board would have done about that? That's my question. What would the board have done? What do you guys think? Man, they never proofread at all. They never proofread at all. They'll have you sitting up here thinking I'm under the influence of some kind of drugs or some shit. That's why I'm so glad I always show all of the articles on the screen. Because it's like, how do you expect somebody to read this nonsense? They would have covered it up. I agree. And we probably wouldn't know about it today. If you guys agree with RG Titan that they probably would have covered it up, type in a 1. I totally agree with that. And the thing is that we would have never done any further investigation to know whether it was real or whether it wasn't. Val says they would have buried the information about the laptop, and they probably would have buried the laptop itself. Deneen says they would have done what the mainstream media did, covered it up. I agree with all you guys. It's one of the reasons why I really love my subscribers. That's why I always brag about you guys everywhere I go. Shouts out to Pirate. What up with it, Pirate? Good to see you over here. I have some of the most critically thinking, intelligent, level-headed, open-minded subscribers on YouTube. I thank you guys every day for being here. You know what I'm saying? Disinformation Governance Board was set up by Homeland Security to try to combat misinformation on Russia and immigration. Do you see that? Combat misinformation on Russia and immigration. What misinformation on Russia? What misinformation on immigration? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has joined the chorus of critics tearing into the Biden administration's new Disinformation Governance Board, headed by a Russia expert who said Hunter Biden's laptop was a product of the Trump campaign. Now, in my opinion, automatically, that to me seems like a conflict of interest. You cannot have a ministry of truth in this country. We're not going to let Biden get away with this one. So we will be fighting back, the Republicans said on Friday at a news conference. When you're not doing well, you have two options. You can try to do better, or you can silence your critics. The Biden administration is doing the latter, he added. Well, if this is Ron DeSantis' words, then in my opinion, we have to say the same thing about white supremacy, because he's trying to silence any critique of white supremacy, calling it critical race theory, because he's a coward. DeSantis led the uptick in fury as Republican Senator Tom Cotton said he would introduce legislation to have the new disinformation board defunded, and a new video showed its head, Nina Jankowicz, singing about misinformation to the tune of the Mary Poppins song Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I guess this must be it right here. Is this it? Is this her? Jankowicz, a self-described Russia expert, has questioned the authenticity of Hunter Biden's laptop by calling it a product of the Trump campaign, even though its contents have been verified. In March of 2020, she also said on C-19 restrictions, "Lock us down. People are not taking this C-19 seriously." So this is great. Right. Exactly. I totally agree, Deneen. Because Homeland Security doesn't have anything important to do. Right. We have a mess at the border, and we're utilizing Homeland Security for this. Right. We have Nazis at our doorstep that were invited, and we're using Homeland Security for this. Information laundering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precious, she sings in a new video, by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet, so disinformation's origins are slightly less atrocious. So I guess this is basically the Mary Poppins song, and we don't need to read that. Jankowicz was brought on to lead the Department of Homeland Security's Disinformation Governance Board to combat disinformation related to national security. And she expressed concerns last week that Musk is expanding free speech on social media, and it would be bad for marginalized communities. So again, we have them trying to tie in black people, because we all know that marginalized communities is a dog whistle for black people. And I don't understand this right here. She expressed concerns last week that Musk expanding free speech on social media, do you see this, would be bad for marginalized communities. I mean, this is literally how white people think. Shouts out to Emmanuel Carey. What up with it, bro? What do you guys think about that? I mean, like, you cannot make this up, man. What in the hell is this lady talking about? Oh, and you know those black people can't deal with free speech. What the fuck is this crazy bitch talking about? On Wednesday, Jankowicz defended her previous remarks, casting doubt on the validity of the Hunter Biden laptop scandal. I don't care what she thinks about the Hunter Biden laptop scandal. I care about this. She says Jankowicz was brought on to lead the Department of Homeland Security's Disinformation Governance Board to combat disinformation related to national security. She expressed concerns last week that Musk expanding free speech on social media would be bad for marginalized communities. Are these people, the Democrats and the Republicans, are these people crazy? What in the hell is wrong with these goddamn people? You got this one idiot that we first listened to in the beginning bringing in black people. Now you got this dumbass sitting here saying, "Well, I don't know. I don't think black people are smart enough to deal with, seeing information." Like, what are you talking about? Like, are you serious? Like this is wild, man. Like, that is truly wild. Lord have mercy. On Wednesday, Jackowitz defended her previous remarks, casting doubt on the validity of the Hunter Biden laptop scandal. A tweet Jankowicz sent in October of 2020 has resurfaced and is making the rounds in conservative circles. Back on the laptop from hell, apparently, Biden notes 50 former NatSec officials and 5 former CIA heads believe that the laptop is a Russian influence op, she tweeted at the time. She added, Trump says Russia, Russia, Russia. She now claims that the tweet was part of her live tweeting debate between Trump and Biden just 1 month before the presidential general election, as Republicans are using the post to pounce on her political leanings. For those who believe this tweet is a key to all my views, it is simply a direct quote from both candidates during the final presidential debate, Jankowicz defended in a repost of the original tweet. Yeah, no, you tweeted that. You're accountable for it. People with the last name of Witz always tend to be kind of shady and never really stand behind their words. They always tend to say, well, what I said was this, and I said that. No. We saw what you said. It's in a tweet. If you look at my timeline, you will see that I was live tweeting that evening. Everybody live tweets. What is this idiot talking about? This is what I'm talking about. Like, they all sound like Jen Psaki. It doesn't matter if they're on the left or if it doesn't matter if they're on the right. I don't know why they act like they all have such an issue with Jen Psaki, because they all sound like her. Instead of putting her on blast, they need to step back in the mirror and say, damn, I sound like her. I use her tactics. I'm just as dishonest as her. Let me sit my ass down in a corner somewhere so I don't mess up the planet anymore. Jankowicz confirmed reports on Wednesday that she is being brought on as executive director of the new board at DHS. Republicans immediately blasted the move, claiming she has shown too much bias to head the group. Specifically in casting doubt on Hunter's laptop scandal. In October of 2020, Jankowicz called the laptop story a Trump campaign product. Elon Musk called on Thursday the creation of Joe Biden's new disinformation board discomforting, as the president tapped a Russia misinformation expert to lead the initiative. The billionaire, who just acquired Twitter this week, was responding to a tweet from conservative political commentator, comedian, and media personality Steven Crowder. The government is creating a misinformation governance board, Crowder tweeted on Thursday. Who else did something like that? He continued. Oh, I remember, the Nazis. I mean, and that bothers you? I'm shocked. Because, I mean, these people literally believe and do everything else that Nazis do. It trips me out how, like, these people try to act like they're not down with that shit. Oh my God, I'm so disgusted. They're doing shit that the Nazis do. I mean, you guys burn crosses and are racist as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck is wrong with these people, man? Like, I literally cannot stand these people. Seriously. And there some data showing some interesting things going on the post. Elon Musk's Twitter takeover. So, like, I find it interesting that these racist ass, right wing ass white people, they criticize Nazis and they try to distance themselves from Nazis, but they literally are and hang out with Nazis. Like, you got a picture of Marjorie Taylor Greene hanging out with Nazis. Joe Biden, best friend, was a KKK member. A whole bunch of lawmakers from Georgia hang out with Ku Klux Klan members. White people should never be allowed to distance themselves from Nazism or racism, ever. They should wear that shit like a tattoo all the time until they've done an adequate effort of distancing themselves from it with actual tangible action instead of just talk like Steven Crowder. Like, you don't get to just call everybody that you want to the N-word and then turn around and try to act like you're distancing yourself from Nazism. Now shut the fuck up. You should wear a Hitler mustache and put swastikas all over your stupid ass live stream studio every morning, you fucktard. I can't stand these cowards because they don't stand behind anything. If that's what you are and that's what you do and that's what you represent, stand behind that shit or shut the fuck up. What's wrong with these motherfuckers, man? Anybody got any idea what's wrong with these people? Seriously. Besides a brain defect? And there's some data showing some interesting things going on post Elon Musk's Twitter takeover. All right, so there's that. Now here it says Republican Senator Josh Hawley is demanding that the White House dissolve the new Department of Security's Disinformation Governance Board she is heading, claiming it would only monitor Americans' free speech, which, again, we have to understand, they clearly indicate what Americans they're talking about. They keep saying how Twitter silenced conservatives. So, like I always tell you, pay close attention to that. When they say stuff like that, they mean white people. They could care less if we get silenced. As a matter of fact, they want us to get silenced. The very people who are crying about free speech are crying about us talking about how disgusting they are. You know what I'm saying? So fuck all these motherfuckers as far as I'm concerned. Senator Hawley insisted on Thursday that the board should be dissolved before it even gets started. I write with deep concern about the Department of Homeland Security's decision to create a new disinformation governance board, he penned in a letter to DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. I confess, at first, I thought this announcement was satire, he continued. Surely no American administration would ever use the power of government to sit in judgment on the First Amendment speech of its own citizens. Sadly, I was mistaken. Like, it just, I mean, and then we're going to act like the United States is just beyond doing all of the stupid stuff that they do. You know what I'm saying? Not seeing any chats. Yo, Deneen is saying that she's not seeing any chats. If you guys are still here and awake, and if YouTube is not messing with the stream, type in a 1. Let us know you're here, because you know how they do. So now here it says he then demanded that DHS provide more information on this new board, including how it will function and be monitored. Hawley also questioned why the announcement was made just following billionaire Elon Musk's acquisition of Twitter, which he vowed to make a more free speech platform with all ideas. I don't think that Elon Musk is going to do anything with Twitter. I don't think that he's going to make it any more free speech than it already is. You all good, Kareem. No worries, bro. Do you guys think that Elon Musk is going to make significant changes to Twitter? I know that he's not. Jankowicz was critical of Musk buying Twitter. Look at this. Claiming that more free speech on the social media platform was a negative thing. I mean, like, it's insane the level of control that these people want to have over everybody. It's dangerous, the level of control that these people think that they're granted over everybody. Look at this. Woke Nina Jankowicz is now head of Biden's dystopian disinformation board. Do you see how these crazy white people make other white people black when they want to, code word woke. I mean, like, this nonsense has to be stopped. This needs to be shut down and smothered with consequences. You know what I'm saying? White people need to not be bringing us into shit at their beck and call when they want to use us for political purposes. That has to end. They need to be shut down and shut up. Like, seriously. You know what I'm saying? A Wisconsin Republican Senator Ron Johnson sent a statement against the formation of the board. The Biden administration has not proven itself to be a credible arbitrator of disinformation. Instead, it has taken steps to silence information that is unflattering to this administration under the guise of disinformation. And white people have silenced critiques of white people under the guise of critical race theory. You know what I'm saying? So we cannot continue to let this nonsense happen. It must be stopped, whether politically or physically. Because, like I said, we're dealing with a hostile takeover and we're hostages at this point. You know what I'm saying? The United States is a hostile, implanted government on a sovereign country, and we are political prisoners in this bitch. White people have had this country under a hostile takeover since before 1776, and it needs to end. This is a hostile military occupation. That's what the United States is. I want to make sure that everybody understands that. Like, this is not a government. This is a hostile military takeover, and we are prisoners. Yeah, we cannot let this happen. Everything they say and do needs to be shut completely down. Seriously. Enough is enough. So we've already read enough about this bill, and all this does is just basically compare Trump. I don't know what's going on with this picture. Girl gives garbage man cupcake every week. That's interesting. Be careful, because your ass will be in jail. We've read enough to get a good idea about that. This article from Daily Mail goes into way too much detail, and the detail that they give is not enough detail on what exactly it is that's going on with what's going on with the specifics of this nonsensical misinformation governance board. This is some nonsense. This is basically just white people being white, trying to shut down free speech and fighting with each other, and just nothing that's going to be of any benefit to us. If anything, this is going to be a detriment. The Democrats and the conservatives will act like they have an issue with it. But what they will do, shouts out to my man Tarek, what up with it, bro? But what they will do is they'll use this to try to shut down the black media. They'll do the same thing that they did before. They'll call us Russian bots. Now, what I find the most interesting is white people claim that they're censored, but somehow those same white people have millions of subscribers. Steven Crowder has about 5 million subscribers. Tim Pool has about 1 million subscribers. Everybody else seems to be stuck at about 3,000-4,000. But these people cry and act like they're the ones being censored. Nobody's censoring you. You know what I'm saying? These are violent Neanderthals that censor with death on both sides, the Democrats and the Republicans. None of these people are none of these people are our friends. These people are all our enemies, and they all need to be destroyed. This is a hostile military occupation. The government, the Democrats, the Republicans, and the white population at large, they're all on the same team. You just saw this nonsense. Nothing is going to happen. We got to do our own thing, and we got to do our own thing independently. We got to purge the coons. There is no such thing as a white savior. There is no such thing as unity. The only thing that we can do is be laser focused, get resources, and force power, period. As you can see, these idiots will continue to bring us into it. You have people that just want to find themselves a cozy and comfortable place. They want to find a nice place under a pink tit instead of actually fighting it. Better deal with it, or else it's just going to get worse. So, ladies and gentlemen, players and pimps, with that being said, that's the end of the video. If you want to have more nightmares, then I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.